Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Campus 31 Television. My name's Rich Peterson, your no-quarter sports reporter. We have yet another Pirate victory to recap, this time against a team that has continuously shown avid college football fans what kind of team they are. The North Carolina State Wolfpack came into this game as a dominant 5-1 team. Their offense, defense, and special teams have all been clicking. Even Coach Ruffin McNeil agrees that they are exceptionally worthy of a championship and especially a bowl appearance after the way they've played this season.
Great football team in North Carolina State. That team will contend for an ACC championship, have no doubt. And that team is playing in a major bowl at the end of the year.
NC State's offense, in particular, is part of the reason State has played so well. They have looked very productive this season, and Russell Wilson is a major part of this. He's a capable quarterback with an excellent arm and definitely has the ability to scramble when no one is open. Their offensive line have provided the protection needed, allowing Wilson to have some outstanding games. While their running game isn't the best, they have a good lineup of receivers. Unfortunately for State, their explosive offense couldn't step up and finish the game in front of the sold-out record crowd in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium this past weekend. After losing back-to-back games against Virginia Tech and UNC, the East Carolina Pirates fought hard for an emotional comeback win over Southern Miss 2 weekends ago. They were definitely looking to ride on that success and play with the passion ECU is known for this past Saturday. All of Pirate Nation was excited to have our team return home after not having a home game for over a month. Coach Ruff was especially excited on Saturday and agreed that the stadium renovations add a lot to the excitement.
The renovations that have been done to the stadium, Jumbotron, and the entrance, the whole magical experience that I was told, hey, wait till you feel this. You know, I felt at Tulsa game. I felt at Memphis game. This Saturday was magnificent.
Saturday's game began at 12 p.m. and the atmosphere resembled what the stadium looked like in the season opener. 50,410 fans gathered to watch this epic in-state rivalry take place on a perfect day for football. ECU elected to receive at the start of the half, and the Pirates began with an excellent kick return that allowed the offense to start from their own 39-yard line. They gained a lot of momentum on their first drive with several pass completions and finished it with a rushing touchdown by Jonathan Williams, putting them up 7-0. ECU kicked off the State and had an excellent special teams play, as you see right there. After forcing them to punt, ECU's Travis Simmons fumbled the return, giving the Wolfpack possession and excellent field position. The Pirates' relentless D pressured Wilson, and their drive seemed to derail after a few plays. Unfortunately, the Pack couldn't capitalize on this drive from the earlier fumble, and their kicker shanked the field goal, leading the score 7-0. Coach Ruff was thrilled to gain so much momentum early in the first quarter. Next drive, ECU's Dominique Davis completed a few passes, eventually hooking up with Lance Lewis, putting the Pirates up 14-0. ECU kicked the State again, and after another great special teams play, Wilson tried leading his offense to some points. It was on this drive that an intentional grounding call should have been made, but no flags were thrown. NC State punted to ECU, and Dwayne Harris returned it 38 yards, giving the Pirates great field position. After a pass completion to Jonathan Williams, Davis tossed a 3-yard pass over the middle to Justin Jones, putting ECU up 21-0. After kicking off the State again, Wilson and his offense began to gain some momentum. A 49-yard touchdown pass to T.J. Graham gave the Wolfpack their first points. NC State kicked off to ECU, and they finally began playing some defense. A pass incompletion and a stuffed run forced ECU to punt. Russell Wilson began driving the offense down the field a second time. On a quarterback sneak play, Wilson pushed his way into the end zone, putting the score at 21-14. Dominique Davis was looking excellent in the pocket on the Pirates' next drive, and a big pass completion to Dwayne Harris helped ECU gain back some of the momentum. After an unsuccessful third down attempt, the Pirates kicked the field goal, re-establishing their 2-possession lead. Next drive, NC State seemed to be doing well until Bradley Jacobs used the hit stick on a play, making it 4th down. In the red zone, Russell Wilson fumbled the ball, giving the Pirates possession, but Jonathan Williams gave it right back when he fumbled on the 1-yard line. It didn't take long for the Pack to take advantage of that turnover. A rushing touchdown by Dean Hayes put the score at 24-21. NC State kicked off the ECU, and after a few plays, it was halftime. The second half was full of defense. You could definitely tell these teams were fighting till the end in this huge rivalry. ECU kicked off the State at the start of the second half, and shortly after their drive began, their offense began having some trouble with incomplete passes. This led them to punt to ECU. The Pirates had some trouble on their next drive also. Davis was being pressured, and he was almost picked, as you can see in this replay. Dwayne Harris fumbled, which rarely ever happens, giving State possession again. An incomplete pass by Wilson was almost picked, and eventually they had to punt to ECU. Dominique Davis had some excellent pass completions on the next drive, but eventually Giovanni Ruffin fumbled. After a few possession changes and no points scored in the third quarter, the no-quarter flag was raised and the fourth quarter began. Everyone in Dowdy-Ficklin was on their feet as ECU was trying to keep hold of their 3-point lead. A couple of running plays by State pushed them closer to the end zone, but eventually they settled for a field goal that tied up the game. Time started to become a factor after several more possession changes. An interception by ECU's Emmanuel Davis had the crowd on their feet again. The game was all tied up 24-24 with only 3 minutes remaining. State took the lead for the first time with a field goal, but East Carolina tied it up shortly afterwards with one of their own. ECU kicked to NC State, and after several plays, Wilson threw a deep pass that was picked off by Bradley Jacobs. 7 seconds remained for one last play, but Davis took a knee, sending the game into overtime. Every fan in the stadium became anxious at the start of overtime. The break beforehand allowed Coach Ruffin to talk to his team. You can see in that replay that he wasn't going to lose this one. NC State won the coin toss and elected to start on defense. Dominique Davis took control and snuck into the end zone on a QB sneak play. ECU's Barber missed the point after, and they had to settle for only 6 points. After kicking off the State, their running back had a good run but was stuffed on the 2 running plays that followed. A pass by Russell Wilson was intercepted by ECU secondary, ending the game instantly. The team rushed the field, and the celebration following was tremendous as always. Each team played with the intensity needed to win football games. Unfortunately for NC State, winning in the overwhelming environment of Dowdy-Ficklin wasn't what happened. Each team's defense played well also, especially in the second half. No points were scored in the third quarter, and ECU's special teams unit played outstanding. The point after missed at the end was unlucky, but it didn't matter when Wilson's pass was picked off, sealing the deal for the Pirates. The refs had some questionable plays where they probably should have thrown flags. Wilson's intentional grounding should have been called, as well as Davis's QB sneak at the end that wasn't ruled as a touchdown. Regardless of all these things, this proved to be a highly competitive in-state rivalry. This game really lived up to the anticipation that always precedes these two teams meeting. It was definitely nice to have the team play a home game, since it's been over a month since the last one against Memphis. Coach Ruff stated that it was a great win Saturday.
It was a great team win. I said it on Saturday. I was very happy for the kids, for our players. I think it reaffirms the work they've put in, the time. They've sacrificed a lot. There's a lot of change and transition for them. And to see their work and the extra effort that we've asked them as a staff to put in was very rewarding for me, for them.
He was especially happy about the fan base we have here.
It's second to none what we had in here on Saturday here in Greenville. Fantastic crowd, really cheered for their team, cheered for their boys, and they were a major part. They were the 12th man, no doubt. Not trying to take anything from A&M, I won't get caught up in that, but for me, they were absolutely a difference in the game with their enthusiasm and what they brought to the table.
Coach Ruff was also thrilled with the players on offense, defense, and special teams, and spoke on the importance of helping each other out.
I saw our groups, offensively and defensively and special teams, feed off of one another. I thought they did a great job of keeping each side up. I think there'll be some days where one side carries the other, and just keep pounding, keep grinding, keep working, and keep progressing each week. I'm very proud of their progress, proud of them.
Well, that's it for us here at Campus 31 Television. Make sure you tune in next week for the recap of the homecoming game against Marshall. That game starts at 4:15 p.m. this upcoming Saturday. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Rich Peterson, your no-quarter sports reporter.